Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 8, Episode 47, DJI 2025 Black Friday sale on Amazon. Hope everyone is doing well. We have a very full house already. Let's see, Warren is here. Joe's here. Let's see who else we got. Bud Bieber's here. Johnny's here. Welcome, Johnny. DD Fellows, RJ Redding, FJ 100. Let's see who else. Dale's drone is here. Sergeant Rock is here. Let's see who else we got. Let's see here. Dr. Ted is here. Joni Oki, welcome. Art is here, welcome. Lauren is here. Richard is here, okay, and John Rocker's here. All right, well, welcome everybody. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. I was just thinking about this. We're at what, episode 47? I mean, that's like this is crazy. This year has gone by way too fast, and I mean way too fast. And yeah, it's just So that's all I got to say about that. But I wanted to take this time before we get things started. For those of us here in the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving on Thursday, the 27th. So from myself, from Valerie, to everyone out there who celebrates Thanksgiving here this Thursday, being in the U.S., we want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a lot of good food to eat. Take your obligatory nap after eating turkey, and you have safe travels to wherever you're going, and that you're able to spend time with loved ones. If not, make sure that you might maybe give them a call on the phone, tell them you love them, and that would be good. We actually, this past weekend, this is a great idea. One of Valerie's sisters who lives out of state came down, and they did like an Airbnb kind of a thing, and had the family come over. She and her husband came down, and it was wonderful. Had Valerie's mom there, and then almost all except for two of her siblings were able to come, and it was wonderful. It wasn't really Thanksgiving per se, but we all had a really good time. It's always good to spend time around my mother-in-law. It was great. She got to go up to one other Valerie's other sisters is taking her up to see Valerie's brother who lives out of state. So for the week. So that was good too. So, it was nice. And we really had a good time. It was great I've seen people I haven't seen in a long time in Valerie's family, and it was really wonderful. It was really nice. So just wanted to start off with that note. With the holidays coming up, there'll probably be a couple of pre-recorded episodes at the end of the year, just to let you guys know that. I'm thinking one of them is they're probably going to be Christmas week and the week after. What I'm probably going to do, one of those is going to be our great episode that we had with Rick Smith, and we're going to try to do that. I am trying to get him on before the end of the year. Hopefully I can do that to talk about what's going on and everything. And just to let you guys know, tonight, I'm going to get into this now. This is not going to be the main topic of the evening because I wanted to talk about Black Friday because there's a lot of good stuff going on, and I wanted to have a good emphasis to that. And there was an article today, and it was out. Let's see if I can pull that up here. Okay, that wasn't it. Okay, yeah, I got this here. Okay, and this is what we're going to talk about. And this was on Drone DJ. DJI warns pilots, U.S. Pilots Act now, drone ban only weeks away. DJI posted one of its most urgent public messages yet. And if you struggle to find certain U.S. drones on U.S. shelves lately, you understand why. And basically, what they're asking people to do, and what I've been asking people to do, is to engage via Vic Moss's site, Drone Advocacy Alliance, and be able to send out emails to your congressmen, senators, and also I believe they're sending one to the White House as well too. What happens to DJI owners if a ban actually triggers? And you can read that. We've covered this ad nauseum. I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on that. Why hasn't the audit happened yet? DJI says it has sent multiple letters, engaged government officials throughout the year, publicly called for a fair, transparent process, stated readiness to take additional data security measures, asked for the deadline to be extended so a real audit is possible. But so far, no part of the federal government has stepped up to perform the audit and the Congress requires. Okay. Why is DJI scrutinized so heavily? Again, I'll let you guys read this. Who gets hurt without DJI? We all know who that is. U.S. manufacturers focus heavily on government and defense customers. They do not produce comparable aircraft for broad civilian and commercial market. Removing DJI from the U.S. market will leave hundreds of thousands of users without affordable, reliable tools. Okay. Every article about this issue always glosses over the most important part of the problem and why this ban is absolutely going to happen, because it is funded by companies like Skydio, who are using the federal government to squash their competition because they're simply incapable of competing in a fair market. They want you to have no choice but to buy their worst products for more money than and they're using the fact that the federal government has been completely regulatorily captured to do it. No amount of contacting representatives is going to change that. The checks have been cashed. The ban will go forward. Okay. And then DJI message to U.S. users, your voice matters. And they're still telling you to go ahead and do that. So the only other thing that I'm going to add to all this is, and now I know I get a lot of comments on these videos whenever I do a video about it. And I want to repeat, okay, if you do nothing, you get what you put into it, and I know what that just said. And I know what a lot of people have commented have said, you know what, why even do it? It's a waste of time. No, you know what? All right. I want to know that I did everything I possibly could do to try to help prevent this from happening. All right. And if it's a foregone conclusion, so be it. But I feel better for myself. And I know several of you have expressed this as well, by doing something. All right. Because, and the other thing that we're going to talk about here a little bit, we're going to talk about Black Friday, but I'm going to be putting a video together, or I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is we're probably just going to have a rotor talk on it. And it's going to be how to prepare for the inevitable, which it looks like it's going to happen. I'm going to walk you through some things that I've been doing and some things that you should be doing. And I think we need to do that, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing. And I've been spending quite a bit of money, and I'm going to talk about an incredible deal that I just had, that I just got off of Amazon, or not Amazon, but on eBay, that you guys will not believe. It is just absolutely incredible. So yeah. So anyway, all right, that's enough of that. I think we're going to kind of stop that in its tracks. I know, like I said, I know we spent quite a bit of time on it, and we're going to kind of table that for this week because there's really kind of no new developments on it. I just wanted to get this out here. I wanted to read this to you. Again, the article's out there on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and page, or I think it's on group. I don't think I got it on the page, but go out there, read it, discern it. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead through Drone Advocacy Alliance and go ahead and contact your local representatives. Okay. I feel good for doing it. You can too. It's up to you, but the thing I'm going to feel good about is preparing for what's coming up. And again, we're going to hit this in another video, but by doing all you can to prepare for the storm. And it's really, my whole central theme is like what it's like for a hurricane. Okay. When we have advance notice that a hurricane's going to come our way, shelves get cleared out in Publix, but we have on hand, we have water on hand, we have canned goods on hand. We have batteries on hand, and these are some of the things that they recommend that you have plenty of supply of, and they say anywhere from a 10 to a 14 day, be able to live off of that for 10 to 14 days without any government being able to help you at all. So getting any help at all. And we also, as I'm a ham radio guy too. So I have means of outside communication other than, cell phones. So we're kind of set here, but that's going to be my theme for this, is how we're going to be preparing, and wait till you see what I've done. Okay. It's on a scale that I'm still trying to comprehend and trying to take all of this in. So, but yeah, that's where we're at for that. So I just wanted to get everybody up to speed on this, that there was another article out there about this, but again, this is not going to be the main theme or the main focus of this evening's conversation. So, yeah. Eyes in the sky. Yep. Ditto. Guilty is charged. Okay. Absolutely guilty is charged. But I'm going to say this. You'll thank me and the money that you've spent when you have enough supplies to be able to ride this out. And I'm talking in terms of batteries, propellers, and other things. And we'll kind of get into that here a little bit as well too. So okay. All right. See what else we got here. Now, I know what I wanted. Okay. Let's get the article up here that I want to get. Okay. Osmo Action 6. All right. Well, we all know, and I'm going to go ahead and post this up here. Now, this is kind of an anomaly right now. DJI's new Osmo Action 6 goes global, but not in the US. All right. And the article talks about that. And, we all know what the gist of that is. What's new in the Osmo Action 6? Macro lens, FOV boost lens, up to 13.5 stops of dynamic range, clean, low light footage, 4K 120 frames per second in a 4:3 format, a new super night mode that captures 4K 60 frames per second in extremely dark scenes. Okay. And the other thing that I want to show you guys is this. And let me go ahead and share that. There were a couple of really good articles, and they were from Air Photography from Sean. And he put one out, an action guide or a beginner's guide on the Osmo Action 6. Let me go ahead and share that with you guys. All right. And it's really, Sean does such a good job because there's no fluff with it. He gets to everything that you need to know on this. What package should you buy? The adventure kit is probably the one that you would probably want to go for. Extension pole for selfie shots, USB-C to USB-C dead end charging cable, adhesive sticky mount, mounting spacers, quick start guide, the camera, 2 magnetic mounts, 2 thumb screws, charging hub, and 3 batteries. And it goes through a hardware overview. Understanding the 2 doors, the camera has 2 doors, and understanding them is critical. And he tells you about that. The magnetic mounting system, which they've been using on the action cams, is absolutely fantastic. You don't have to use DJI accessories. If you have GoPro mounts or generic third-party accessories with finger mounts, they'll work. And see, these are some good tips that Sean puts in here, okay? To charge with the hub, to charge the camera directly, activation and firmware update. It tells you how to go through that, navigating the menu system. And it's real easy. It's a lot like the other ones. Nothing has really changed as far as that's concerned. To access main settings, he goes through that here. And this is nice because he's basically put in a Word format. Hey, Ron.
Hello, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good. Going over Sean's video, how-to video on the DJI Action 6. It's really well laid out. He did a great job here.
It looks like Sean's rating for Drone DJ now. I mean, Drone XL.
Yes. Yeah. And 4 ways to capture video, pairing DJI wireless microphones, transferring content, tells you there's 3 ways to do that. Use Mimo as a remote. This is something that a lot of people have done. And then his final thoughts. All in all, it's really good. Now, he did another set here, and he compared the Action 6. Let me see what it is. He compared the Action 6 to the Action 5, okay, and their differences, and he did another video on that. But one thing that I wanted to talk about with you, Ron, is this. Whereas most things that haven't been for sale here in the United States are on eBay, and the Action 6 is on eBay, they really have jacked the prices up on eBay, okay? What I found is, and I did an exhaustive search, and the lowest price for the Action 6 Standard without any accessories with it is $499. Now, if you go out to Amazon, there is a seller out on Amazon, but I also looked, that seller has horrible customer reviews. So, for those of you who are contemplating that, know that, okay? They've not delivered product. People have waited for refunds. They're bad. So you just want to kind of stay away from that. The normal price is $375. So that's like a $120 markup right there.
Yes.
Now, for the adventure combo on eBay, or on Amazon, what the normal price would be, $479. People are asking about $400 over that right now. Like $880 seems to be about the average price out there on eBay. Now, there is a way around this, so to speak, quote unquote. All right. And this is true. I did a lot of looking on this, and I did kind of a deep dive on this. Okay. Say you can go ahead and you're all right with getting that $499 one that's out there, and it's brand new. It's not an overstock or an open box or anything. It's brand new. The seller has a good reputation. I already checked them out. Okay. What you can do, and believe this or not, this is kind of crazy. You can go out to either Adorama, or you can go out to DJI's website itself, because it was actually letting me put things in the cart, accessories, okay? Not the Action 6, but I went out there and I found all the exact accessories for that, all right? It's going to run you probably about $250, $275, $300 to do that. If you wanted to get all the accessories that have been listed with it, like the 3 batteries, the case for the batteries, the selfie stick pole, and the thing is, many of you might already have a lot of these accessories already. If you already have an action cam, if you haven't sold it, if you've sold it, you're probably going to need it to have that on hand. But there is a way around that. And if you do that, you're going to probably save a couple of $100 by doing that. You can do that. Now, Adorama, they did have them out there for a day or so, but they were sold out in about 15 minutes. All right. Everything, they're now on back order. And that's what I've done for me right now. I've done a back order on Amazon as far as the Action 6 is concerned. Not on Amazon, excuse me, on Adorama, which has it for the $479, which I can wait. I don't have a problem with that. But and when I'm saying waiting, I'll probably wait another week or so. And then there's no action. I'm probably going to take the recourse of going out to DJI, going out to eBay, getting it off that user on eBay, the seller on eBay, and then going either to Adorama or out to DJI's website, believe it or not, to purchase the other accessories. So what are your thoughts on that, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for the best price, I would sit tight for a while. I mean, the demand won't last forever. eBay prices will drop down as soon as demand drops down, Bill. And on a bigger picture, of course, all the influencers that were set to camera, initially, it was all sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops in the reviews, right? But if you look at the second wave of reviewers now, the people that actually paid for it and got it themselves, most of them don't say it's not a big upgrade from the Action 5 Pro. That unless you're looking for a specific feature, like say that variable aperture, you want to get that macro lens. But if you're just general use, it's not really an upgrade from the 5 Pro. And what they were explaining is, even though the sensor is bigger, Bill, this is kind of a little bit hard to understand. Even though the sensor is bigger, this has that square sensor, so it goes high and wide, so you can make the decision afterwards whether you want to make it a vertical video or a traditional landscape video like we watch on YouTube. But but almost all the gain in sensor size goes into that vertical video to stretch that thing higher. So what I'm basically getting down to, if you only tend to shoot vertical videos, you really don't get any increase in any resolution besides that sensor. That's only in there to help people that, are using the square crop to make it vertical.
Now, the only thing that in essence, what you've just said, as far as the difference is concerned, the only thing that I've seen appreciable difference is the low light shooting. Okay. And that's something
And,
that,
and every new generation of every camera gets better in low light shooting.
yes, it does. And I agree 100%. And I think that's one of the things across the board that I saw on there as far as the reviewers were concerned. That's something all of them praised it for. Okay. The low light shooting is much better. So if that's something, and I'm trying to point this out to everybody to let you know what's going on here. Okay. As far as the features of this
And
concerned.
the Action 5 is not bad. So it's not like you're going from a horrible GoPro that doesn't work at all in low light.
Exactly.
You're going from an Action 5 that was probably the best in low light last year to one that's even better. So you're going from something that was already good to something that's better.
Exactly. So, if you have, say, a 4 or or an older version and we're thinking about upgrading, you could consider an Action 5, okay, which I have. And that's a fantastic camera. I have been nothing but pleased with it. I thought the stabilization had improved over when because I had previously had the 3, I didn't have the 4. I thought that had vastly improved on that. So, and I think if you've come from an older camera on that, I think that's something that you'll realize as well too, that's markedly improved from that one. I mean, but if you really have your heart set on the Action 6 and you really want those features on there that have been talked about, understand, what I would suggest, either probably wait another week, or if you need to do it now, there is one out there for $499. I don't know how long that's going to continue to be out there. So you could get that one. Now it's probably not going to get here till December 8th to 12th is what the shipping status is. And then you could go out to DJI's website or any of the other ones, or Amazon or Adorama, and order the accessories as much as you want to get and as much as you feel you need. Okay. So I'm just trying to provide some advice to people in terms of being able to do that. Now, just to let everybody know and kind of clue people in, I have been making lots and lots of DJI purchases, lots. And this sale that we're going to be talking about has really helped me a lot. Now, one of the things that I did was I purchased an Osmo Nano, all right, the 128 gigabyte version. And I got that off of eBay. It's coming from, in fact, it was here in the United States, and I got a great price on it. I was very, very pleased with the price on it. And I went out to Amazon actually, and I got some of the accessories for it. As you know, there's no SD card needed for that because it has self-contained storage. There's no batteries for it as well. I did get a cage, and the cage is a dual cage. It fits both of the modules in there. And I did get a little case for it as well too. I found that on Amazon. So I'm excited about that. I think
now,
that's
Bill, what's this again? I was looking at a comment and missed the very beginning. What product is this?
The Nano.
Oh, the little camera.
Yeah, the little camera, the Osmo Nano. I got that off
And now
of eBay.
that you can get on you can get that on Amazon for the real price of either $299 or $329 without a markup.
Right, and I got it on eBay, and it was pretty much the same price with free shipping. And he shipped right away. There was no delay as far as that's concerned. So plus I bought some accessories as well too. So I mean, so that's kind of good. I was really pleased with that. So yeah.
And the Nano, of course, is a very impressive camera. These little POV cameras you've always taken kind of a hit in quality to get that small size, Bill. But it looks like the Nano's right on par with, like, say, almost. I mean, I know it's not going to be low light, but the Action 5 in daylight photography, it looks like on par with the Action 5, and that's incredible for a teeny POV camera.
Yeah, it sure is. It really is. So I think that's really good. Now, what we're going to do right now,
Johnny Droneflyer found a Osmo Action 6 for $439.
Oh wow! Okay, that's very good.
He didn't have a link. I don't know exactly where that is, but
we're going to go ahead and start talking about DJI's Black Friday on Amazon, and there's a lot of things out there. What Drone DJ posted, we're going to go over that and some other things that I wanted to share with you guys as well too. Some things that I've posted as well too, and some of the things that I've purchased. So we're going to get into that. And what I'm going to do with this is we're going to get into, and I'm going to show. Let me see here. I lost that page. Okay, let me get the page back. All right. I'm going to go through the page, and then we're actually going to go on to Amazon and take a look at each one of these so you could see exactly what's going on with this, because I wanted to spend some time on this tonight because I think there are some great deals out there that you want to take advantage of. For example, the first thing, the Osmo 360, 35% off camera and combo. On Amazon, you can get the Osmo 360 Adventure Combo for 35% off, $454. Which is a big savings from a $700 price tag. 35% savings is also applied to the Osmo 360 camera unit, now $357.49, down from the regular $550 price. Okay, with the extra 100 in this deal, the Adventure Combo gives you 2 extra batteries, a 3-battery charging case, and a selfie stick. All right. The next thing is the Osmo Pocket 3. It's up to 34% off. Which would make that $529. If you're looking for the creator combo, that would be 32% off, and that would sell for $670. They have 20% off Osmo smartphone gimbals. The DJI's budget gimbal you can score now for only $55, which is that is a super great deal. The 7P model is $103 with 20% off. The Mic Minis, one of the most impressive deals of the day is DJI's Mic Mini 2 transceiver bundle, coming in at a 45% discount. You can score these mics for just $66. They're normally $119. And I went ahead and I did that today. That's going to be coming on Friday. Okay. Mini 4K is now $309. And again, these are all on Amazon. The Mini 3 Fly More combo is 20% off on Amazon, and we'll go ahead out there and take a look at the price on that. The Flip is 20% off on Amazon today, and we're going to go out there and look at that. That's with the RC2 controller. That's $509. The DJI Neo, not the Neo 2, is 21% off, and that's going to be $229, down from $289. The Avata 2 is 15% off. And that's going to be on Amazon for $849, down from the regular price of $999. And the RS3 Mini, DJI's RS3 Mini camera gimbal now is $199, down from the regular price of $237. Now we're going to go out there and take a look at some of these deals here, and I'm going to call out attention. This first one that we're going to take a look at here is actually one that I came across the other day, and I went ahead and I did that. So I'm going to kind of be the Mic Mini kind of themed right here, because what I did was DJI's just the transmitter itself was normally $50. They're down to $25.
Imagine $25 for a mic like that, Bill. That's incredible. And if you already have DJI equipment like Action 5, 6, Nano, all that stuff, you don't need anything but the mic.
Exactly. So what I did was I got 2 of these at $25 a piece. Mm-hmm. Now I also went out and
did you get the little charging hub for that? Or
what I did was I bought the charging case for it, which is $77. Okay. And I ordered that from Amazon as well too.
So you just get the 2. Did you get a receiver for it in your bundle?
Well, I'm going to go over that. No, I didn't get a receiver, and I'm going to explain to you why.
Gotcha.
Why I didn't do that. Okay. Now we're going to move on here to the next one. Okay, and I'm going to show you the charging case here. That's the next one that I got. Okay. All right, here's the charging case. They're $77. All right, and obviously, you know what the charging cases are.
But I got 2. That's just an empty case.
That's an empty case. And this is something so you can drop your Mic Minis in there. Now, when you buy your Mic Minis by themselves, they come with a very small cradle that you can charge them in. They're super small, so you can drop them in. But I wanted to do this because I think it's going to be a whole lot easier to be able to do something like that. Now,
what I'm going to show you, organized too and safe. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is we'll kind of explain why I did what I did as far as that's concerned. Here, I bought this on eBay, and what it is it's the Mic Mini, but it also comes with a wireless receiver for mobile phones, and there it is. It's kind of a clear device, and I know some people have actually reviewed them. I know Michael Wright purchased it, and he was one of the first ones to tell me about this. And this is an absolutely good deal because the wireless receiver by itself is about $30. So all told, with all this, it was only $88. So I went ahead and did that. So that's why I got a second set or a second kind of charging stand, so it'll be able to charge all of this up, which is really nice. Now, this in and of itself, this hooks right to your phone. Okay. So instead of having the big transmitter module that you would have on your phones, this kind of eliminates that. That kind of goes in the other direction. It's something smaller. And Sean from Air Photography has a great video on how to use that. Okay. And it involves
not on your phone, but this is great to plug into the bottom of your DJI smart controller too, rather than that big hunking thing that comes with the kit.
Exactly. That's why DJI put this out. And the first person to really kind of call attention to it was, I think it goes by iPhone Do. iPhone
Do, however you say.
iPhone Do,
real big channel. Actually, I saw Aldrin review this a few weeks back too, or a month back.
Okay. And then I'm going to go over also too. Now, let me see if I can find these here.
But you're right. This DJI did not advertise this at all. This was just something people found by accident. It wasn't anything that you saw anybody. They didn't send this out to the big channels. They bought themselves.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what happened, Ron. They went out and bought them themselves. Now we're going to take a look. I'm going to go back to the article and click on the links here, as I think that's going to be easier because, okay. Okay. Article. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, got the article here. Now we're going to look at the Osmo 360 here. All right. And the Osmo 360, it's $454. All right. And that's the one that talked about it has the 3 batteries, the battery case, and the selfie stick right there, which is a really, really good deal. And then the Osmo 360 by itself is down to $357.
And of course, Bill, if you already own another DJI like Action 5, Action 6, the batteries are all compatible, so you don't even need the 3 battery thing for this if you already own another DJI product and you already have the 3 battery hub.
That is a fantastic point, Ron. Thank you for mentioning that.
If you're an ecosystem, as they say, Bill.
Yeah, it's part of the ecosystem here, which is fantastic here. So go ahead and get that.
Eye in the Sky has a question for us in the chat, Bill. This is something maybe people would be interested in. He said, so you guys think the Neo 2 and Mini 5 Pro will be available after the ban? eBay maybe, but doubt Amazon.
Don't know that. We don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know.
One of the best guesses I can say is the eBayers, they won't stop sending these products to the U.S. until somehow the government stops them, right?
Exactly.
So I'm gonna say yes, at least for the short term, because again, unless every package is inspected at customs, every single package or whatever that comes from anywhere in the world, they're not going to be able to stop them all, right, Bill?
No, they can't. They physically cannot be able to do that. Now the next one on here is the Osmo Pocket 3, and it's down 36% to $510.
You need to get the screen back up again, Bill. It came down.
Oh yeah, okay.
I know there's a lot going on tonight, right, Bill?
Yeah, a lot going on. Okay, there it is. 36% off at $510. I mean, if you want to wait for the 4, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah. Now, Drone Angels just said he just purchased the Osmo Pocket 3 for $393 on AliExpress. So as you
Right.
always say, Bill, there's deals out there. You got to search these deals out, really hard, right?
Well, one of the things I can tell you, and I went ahead and I got another battery for my Mavic 4 Pro from
Mm-hmm.
AliExpress, and their shipping is very slow,
Yes.
very,
Yes.
very slow. So understand, if you guys want to use AliExpress, it's fine, but understand their shipping is slow, and they have a real interesting tracking system. Okay, I don't know who they use. It's not a lot of the ones on eBay use a standard system and it's actual tracking, and you can understand it because a lot of times in a lot of instances when these packages hit the United States, they go to the U.S. Postal Service. Okay, and with the one with AliExpress, I kept getting updates on this, and there was really no update. I went out to that website, and I kind of had to and kind of extrapolate and kind of figure out how to track that. I mean, they gave me a number, but they didn't give me a link for a website. So in using AliExpress, buyer beware with that because a lot of times it can get bogged down in the system here. So I'm willing to spend $50 or $75 more to get it through Amazon.
Yeah,
With
Bill, this one here you highlight comes on Saturday, November 25th. So you get that by the weekend if you order this one.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And a lot of this too, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen, quote unquote, after the 23rd. So my best advice in getting these items would be to do it before December 23rd. I mean, I'm just kind of trying to state the obvious here, but
You mean actually have it delivered before the 23rd?
right, right. So there wouldn't be any problem in getting them to your house. I think that's really important here. Now, let's go to the gimbals here. And there we go. Okay.
I'm going to answer Dale's drone command Thailand video. He's talking about the 360 cameras editing, which I'm new at, would be an issue for me. Yes, it's the hardest editing there is to edit the 360 videos. Now that being said, Insta360, not DJI, has great apps. They have a lot of AI and self editing programs now that do a pretty good job. But I've been told that DJI software, desktop and phone, is not as sophisticated as Insta360, especially with kind of AI editing and the app doing it for yourself. So yes, you're going to get bogged down at the beginning. So
Well, you can see here.
go ahead.
This is the Osmo Mobile 7P, and it's 20% off. It's for $103. And one of the things
Wow,
too,
that's a great price. Is that the latest? That's the latest model?
I think
No,
the
no, the
8 is
eight. Sorry, the eight's
the 8
out
is the
now. Yeah,
latest.
the eight's out now. Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna kind of move on, and also too understand. When you buy off of AliExpress, if you have to return that, it's really kind of
Yeah.
eBay is easier than AliExpress to
Yep.
return, and the easiest obviously is Amazon.
Our good
So
friends at Amazon. Yes.
exactly. So let me go ahead and we're going to kind of move on to the next one here. Um, and I already went over the mic minis here. We're going to
Yes.
take a look at the Mini 4K. I'm just waiting for this to come up here. Okay. And verify. And these prices are all actually out there. Now, everything that I'm showing here, everything that you guys see, there is a link embedded in the description. So you're interested in purchasing that, it's down in there. And for the other links from like eBay and things like that, I'm going to be putting a comment out there after the show airs tonight. So it'll have all the links out there. So anything that you're interested in that I talked about tonight, you'll be getting a link to that. Okay. So the price here is $309, just as it said. Okay. And that is a fantastic price. I know
That's for your fly bar combo. Yes.
they've had them lower, but you're getting two batteries for this.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, two
and
batteries?
it says
Yeah, two batteries. Yeah.
two batteries for 62 minute max flight time, quick shots. Okay. So that's under for your consideration as well. And let's take a look at the next. Okay.
I believe you get the drone with one battery for like $239, Bill.
Right. Right. If you wanted to do that with one battery, but I strongly advocate trying to get as many batteries as you can at this point. All right, here is the flip, and now this is with the RC2. It's 509. The flip with the N3, okay, it's 439. There's no real discount on that. The flip Flymore combo doesn't look like there's a discount with that, but the flip with the RC2, there it is 20% off.
Yeah,
Of
Bill,
that.
that sale came off. The flip with the regular controller was down to like in the upper 300s, but that sale came off already.
Okay. Okay.
So,
So
so in
that's
other words, if you want to flip, but you don't want that package, keep checking back because the prices are kind of moving around on the flip. The flip really hasn't seen much of a the flip's been out since what, January, Bill? And this is the first time we've seen a discount on it. So keep
yeah.
your eye on it and watch for lower prices.
Exactly. And I think they're really trying to get some movement on the flip here. I
Right,
mean,
because of what kind of unscientifically we think the flip is one of their worst performing drones in recent years.
yeah, exactly here. Okay. Now we're going to go look over at the Neo now. Now this is not the Neo 2, this is the DJI Neo.
I guess we can call it the Neo 1 now.
We call it the Neo 1. It's $229, and
Which I think that Drew battery combo is 229. That's a good price.
yeah, that is a very good price. Let's take a look at some of the other prices here. 279 for the
Oh, that's real good too, Bill.
let's see, with the motion. That's
Wow, the goggles
419.
and all for 419. Wow.
Yeah, that's real good.
How about just the drone alone? 159. Yeah, you can't go wrong with
159,
the
that's
Neos,
very
Bill.
good.
You can't go wrong over here.
No, that's a real real good price on that. That is real good price on that. That's something I would definitely consider. Let's go ahead and boy, these pages are turning slow tonight.
Well, people are already shopping for Black Friday. The internet's moving slow already, Bill.
It sure is, Ron. Okay. And this is going to be the Avata 2.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and share that. All right. Okay, it's $849. It's 15% off with the goggles and the controller. See if the Flymore, if they no discount on the Flymore. A coupon brings it down $100. You can save that. There's a coupon right here on that. The drone
Bill,
only.
I was just flying it the other day, yesterday. Got it right here.
There you go. Look at
I
that.
was flying it yesterday.
So it looks like the deal's on the Flymore combo, and that's 15% off, which is $849, which is really good. So, and that's it for these. One of the things that I wanted to show you guys, and I wanted to say this because this was one of these deals that was absolutely too good to pass up. Okay. Now you guys all, and I know, Ron, I know you remember how I spearheaded the effort to get the Mavic 3 Pro for $799 on Amazon. Okay. Which I was able to do, but there was a lot of weeping, gnashing of teeth, and literally hours on the phone. But with this deal, I found it and I was like, okay, this is just too good to be true. So I checked the seller out. The seller, it's an individual person. It's not like one of those, it's not like a store, and had, perfect feedback on there. And I asked him, I said, why are you selling this? And he said, well, he was able to get another version of this with more accessories, still brand new at a much better deal. And I'm like, okay, so what are you asking? And I said, seriously? Yeah, I didn't tell him seriously, but I'm like, okay. So I said, can you send me a picture? Because what he had out there were stock pictures from DJI. He didn't have a picture of it. Sure enough, he sent it to me, and it was in shrink wrap, showed me the UPC symbol and everything on there. So I didn't hesitate, and I got it. And I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys now. I ended up getting Mavic 3 Pro
We got
with
3
the
Pro.
RC Pro 1 in it, the Flymore combo.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And this
Nice.
was, now I looked, there were several sellers on eBay, and this one was almost $1,500 less than these other sellers.
Wow.
Well, this was, and this is below what retail would have been on this. And again, you can see it's brand new. I mean, it's brand new. You can probably see
Wow.
the plastic on here. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So
So the
there's
Mavic 3
deals out
Pro,
there if you look hard enough.
yes, and what I'm doing now is, and I was talking to people about this before you stop by. I am spending a lot of money, but I'm getting batteries, I'm getting propellers, I'm getting charging bricks, I'm getting charging stations on all of them. I'm having backups for all of them. I have cases for all of them. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of
Didn't we say
getting.
this last week? You're sort of in hurricane mode here.
Right. I'm sort of in her, exactly, Ron. I'm in hurricane mode. I'm preparing like there's going to be a storm. I'm preparing for the worst. I'm preparing to say, that we won't have access to be able to get this. Now, I still think, we'll have access to buy things on eBay, and I don't really think we'll be restricted there. But I'm preparing for the worst case scenario here. Okay. And that's why I'm really kind of focusing, especially on batteries and other charging cables and charging bricks. For example, with a Mavic 4 Pro, I bought an additional 240 watt charger out there with a US plug on it. So I have a backup as far as that's concerned. I bought additional DJI 65 watt chargers that haven't made it in yet. All right. I also bought 2 extra batteries for the Neo 2 and another charging base for the Neo 2. I just bought today a second additional battery for the Mavic 3 Pro. I also went out and I bought a second additional battery for the Mavic 4 Pro. So I'm going to have a total of like 5 batteries for each one of these. And if I have some more funds, the only thing that I would probably do is spend them additionally on batteries to be able to get them. So, and I also, it also necessitated buying things like the LiPo battery cases, because when the drone's stored, I store my drones in the cases, but I don't store the batteries in there. I put them in the LiPo cases just for grins and giggles. So so that's kind of where I'm going right now as far as things were concerned. What else I wanted to talk about was I took the Neo 2 out.
But talk all the way through that strategy, because you don't anticipate being able to buy any DJI products, say, after the first of the year. So basically you're putting kind of next year's fund into this year, because you won't be, if things go the way we fear they're going to go, you won't be purchasing many DJI products next year, right?
Right.
Or if any at all.
I'm preparing as if, when this ban hits, that we won't be able to buy propellers or batteries or things like that. So, I mean, I have an overabundance of propellers for everything. Now, I got to buy some more propellers for the Neo 2, and I want to try to get a couple more batteries for the Neo 2. I had the Neo 2.
People were disappointed the Flymore combo only included one spare set of propellers for the Neo 2.
Yeah, that was, so I had to do some hunting, because the ones out on eBay, a lot of them are not OEM, because I wanted to get OEM with them, because if they're not, it could be a little hanky on that. I did get my Neo 2 out for its first flight, and I do have a video that I just put out today on that, Ron. And I have to make this statement, okay? I've been flying drones for 7 years, all right? And I've been impressed with just about every DJI drone that I've ever flown, okay? Out of the box, I was totally shocked with the response I got from flying the Neo 2. Ron, it felt like I was flying a Mavic 3 Pro, okay? I noticed and what amazed me was the signal with that. Now, I'm using the RC2, of course. And one of the I learned some things on this, okay? One of the things that I learned was, when you first power up the drone, you have to use the N3 controller on your phone to go ahead and register it, because if you try to do the RC2, it's going to say, was your drone registered yet? Yes or no? And it's not. So you have to go back and do that. So I found that out.
I ran into that with the Neo 1.
Right. Now, one of the other things that I found out too was it took a it kind of reminded me of when the Mavic 3 came out before the Mavic 3 Pro, and having to wait a few minutes to get satellites. Okay, that's
Oh,
one of the
okay.
things that I found with the Neo 2. I had to wait a few minutes to get some satellites for them, but it got up to 21 or 22, but it was about a good 3 minutes before that
I
actually
forget.
happened.
Was the Neo 1 slow in getting satellites also? I
I
forget.
don't remember, Ron. To be honest with you, I don't remember that. Now, one
I'm the
thing.
kind of guy. I fly my Neo once every 6 months, so I can't remember.
Now, it was a calm day, which was fantastic. I mean, there was like no wind at all, which was great. It was just absolutely perfect. And when I went out this past weekend, and I expected by the time, and you guys know how I fly, I start out where the clubhouse is, and then I wanted to go up to where the entrance is with the fountain up there, and I'm figuring like, I don't know. Ron, I only lost 1 bar of signal strength going up there. Of course, I was standing in that direction, and I think what helped with
Now, did you
that
have
was,
that? Did you have that module on, Bill? The
of
little
course,
module
yeah,
with the
yeah,
antennas? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was on there, and then I'm using the RC2 with the antennas on it, okay, because I think
Okay.
the antennas from the RC2 are better than the antennas on the N3. All right, that's
Oh
just
yeah, yeah,
my
yeah,
personal opinion. But one of
yeah.
the only other things that I noticed in terms of I don't want to even call it a negative, it uses battery pretty fast because it went down from 99% to about 50% in my 6 or 7 minute flight. So, I mean,
Wow.
it's going to eat up battery kind of fast. But the one thing that really impressed me, okay, its flight handling was incredible. I was just, it kind of knocked me off. Horizon looked a little bit off a kilter as far as that's concerned. All right. But other than that, the video quality that I got back at 4K 30, I mean, I was really impressed with that. I mean, because, and the reason, everybody asks me, why do you fly the same place all the time? It must be boring. No, I know what to look for, and I know where, I know what the colors should be, and I know where things are and how it should look. And it really kind of spoke back to me like it's just like some of my other drones that I've flown, some of the more expensive ones, and it handled things well. Now it's loud, okay, so don't expect a quiet drone here, okay. It is loud. I don't,
Yeah.
uh,
The
you
the
know,
testing goes at slightly quieter than a Neo 1. Slightly.
Yeah, that's what others have said, that it is slightly quieter than the Neo 1. But Ron, it just, for the first time out of the gate with this, all right, and it landed fine. I mean, as far as like a precision landing kind of a thing, it landed absolutely fine. I had no issue doing return to home at all.
Somebody asked you in the chat if it had precision landing.
Yeah, it does. It
Okay.
landed right in the middle of the mat. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, DD fellows. Yeah, it landed right in the middle of the mat. You know, and I know our friend with. Oh, that's good, Johnny. That's really good. I know our friend Sean from Air
Johnny
Photography.
has good eyesight, Bill.
He must have good eyesight because I can't go that far.
Johnny
Okay.
saw it the whole way.
Wow, that's great, Johnny. Um, But for me, as far as what was I going to say? Um,
I'm sorry,
mm,
I ruined your train of thought. Something
mm.
about the Neo going out a distance, or you having good
Yeah, it was,
signal?
going out the distance and coming back. It did engaging return to home worked like a champ. There wasn't any problem with that. But I mean, out of the box, firing it up, doing the firmware updates and things, and it just, I mean, Ron, there was really nothing negative to say about that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sean from Air Photography said the best beginner drone is the Mini 4K. All right. So,
Okay.
and in most instances, I would agree with him. But you know what? For the ease of use with this drone right here, and the fact is, it's well under 259 grams, so you don't have to
Right.
register
No,
it.
no worries about
Uh,
that.
it has a very good camera, 4K 30 frames per second. I was very impressed with the footage. So I would even kind of say, you know what? It's kind of on par with a Mini 4K as far as calling it a beginner drone.
No, the biggest
Because
con about it being beginner drone, if it's the only drone you have, the short flight time. The Mini 4K will get twice the flight time.
mhm. Yeah, I
And I
agree.
mean, it's no big deal to you because you got other drones, but if that's your only drone, you only get 12 minutes of battery, that would be a little hard to get a lot of flight time in.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the 3 visual observers, Johnny.
AVOs, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so oh, okay, wow, okay, that's good, Eye in the Sky. Thank you for sharing that.
This guy's got a new video out where he compared it with the Mini One he said in the chat.
Okay, that'll be good. That'll be really, really good to see that. I'll be anxious to see that as well here. So we're going to kind of wrap things up as far as the drone talk is concerned. Again, before I completely finish this, in the description, everything that we talked about is listed in the description, and I'm going to post an additional posting in the first comment of the video that's going to have the listings that include the eBay listings and some of the other ones that weren't in the articles. And again, these are direct links, so you can go out there. And another word of caution: if you're using these sellers on eBay, number one, vet the sellers for yourself. Okay, some of them are here in the United States, which is fine. You don't have to worry about tariffs. But if they're over in Japan or China or South Korea, check and see, because it's embedded in the listing whether or not they will take care of tariffs. Okay, check that out. Check their ratings out. Also, too, some of these sellers may not have the product anymore, so be aware of that. Where I purchased from, they may be gone. For example, the Osmo Nano that I purchased from, they're gone. They don't have any more of them out there. So just to let you guys know that, as far as that's concerned. So, all right.
Hey, Bill, before we slip into Steeler Nation, one quick topic: the anti-gravity drone from DJI and the other company. I saw maybe the 1 millionth teaser video on Instagram today. Do you think they're doing themselves a disservice? Because I see by the comments they're releasing so many teasers and not releasing the product. Is that kind of damaging it when you tease it for a new product for too long, and then you're not really releasing it? Do you think it gets to the point where people kind of get over it, that, it almost feels like it should have been out weeks or months ago because of all the hype on it, but there's no, it doesn't come, there's no date yet. Are they hurting themselves with this big publicity campaign and not putting the product out?
I agree, Ron. I think they are. I think that's they've captured interest with this, but then now it's kind of going in the other direction, because if they don't have product out right now, keep putting these teasers out and everything, that's not, they're doing a disservice to themselves, I think. I really do.
I hope by the next show, Bill, we actually have a drone to talk about there, but we'll see. Okay, let's go into Steeler Nation now, Bill.
I'm going to
answer. I know
answer.
the Steelers had a big game with the Bears this weekend, and I didn't wasn't on TV around here, but I know the Bears had a lead, but the Steelers came back on them near the end and made it a tight game, didn't they?
Yes, I did. I'm going to answer RJ Redding. No, I haven't used my phone. Okay, I've just used the RC2 controller. Okay. As far as the game was concerned, all right. Number one, they were. I watched a lot of the interviews that they had over the week, and reporters asking some valid questions to Tomlin, and it was mostly about Aaron Rodgers' status. Now, I know they played the game of trying to keep the other team guessing which quarterback is going to be in on Sunday. So, they have to split time preparing for either Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers, that kind of thing. But Tomlin was abrasive and almost, he would snap back at a lot of reporters' questions. He said, I'm not going to answer that question. And, was really testy with a lot of them. And a lot of the questions obviously dealt with who was going to be quarterback for the weekend. And I knew, Ron, Aaron Rodgers has a hairline fracture on his left wrist, okay? There is no way, all right? There is no way that you can protect his hand enough to where he can come in and play, all right? And this is going to take several weeks. Rodgers might not be back this season, all right?
But did they do a Dog and Pony show that he was at practice on a limited basis on Friday?
Yeah, that's all. That was all for Chicago to see that, Ron. Okay, that was all, because I think teams have until 24 hours before kickoff that they have to submit their final rosters. All right. Yeah. So up until like Saturday at 1:00, they have to submit their rosters to the NFL officially. All right. Who's going to be in and who's going to be out that game. So that's why they do. They're playing that game. Their hope. And you know what? Chicago knew. Okay. Chicago knew it was going to be Mason Rudolph coming in that game. There was no question about that. None whatsoever. Okay. And as far as, and I want to answer some questions because I know a lot of people in some of the Steeler groups, they're going out there and they're going after Mason Rudolph. I said, no, you do
How,
not go
how,
after
how did
Mason
Rudolph,
Rudolph.
Rudolph perform in that game, Bill?
I thought he performed very well, Ron. I really did. I was pleased with his performance. If I were to grade it, I'd have given him a B. All right. Wasn't an A, but it was definitely a B. Okay. He was solid. He was dependable. I could not fault him for the loss as far as the loss was concerned. The defense, I give them about a C or maybe even a C minus because it was kind of wishy-washy. And again,
they have been playing real well recently, the defense.
The defense is like it's kind of like a bell curve right now. Some weeks are up, some weeks are down. I mean, what they played the Bengals last, of course, who can't beat the Bengals, kind of a thing. All right. Now the Bears have a deceptive record. Okay, when they came into the game, I think they were 7-3 coming into the game.
They're 8-3 now. Yes,
they're 8-3 now, but they haven't played anybody. Okay, they haven't their strength of schedule has been super easy. They haven't played any significant playoff caliber.
Yeah, they're in the division with the Lions and the Vikings, but both those teams are a little bit off this year, right?
Yeah, exactly. So looks are deceiving in terms of their record as far as that's concerned, and also too,
I believe they play the Eagles on Friday.
Yes, I saw that they do play. They do have the Eagles coming up on Friday. There were a couple of instances in that game where there was the Steelers had a formation penalty that cost them dearly. Okay, near the end of the game. All right, that really was one of the things that kind of broke their back. But the thing that really broke their back was, okay, they have a chance to kick a field goal to tie the game on 4th down. All right, what does Tomlin do?
They have one of the better kickers,
and we have. I'm going to say this. It's the best kicker I've ever seen. Okay. Chris Boswell. Okay. The guy is like automatic. Now, it would have been a long attempt. It probably would have been about 57 yards. All right. But it was makeable. It would have tied the game up. So what does Tomlin do? Okay. Does he go for the field goal or try to get the first down? He tries to get the first down. Pass is deflected. Bears take over. Game's over. Okay. Ron, I've watched football since 1968 for 57 years, all right? I have never seen a more boneheaded, stupid decision by an NFL head coach than that one, all right? And he refused to answer that question. He said, you know what? You know how he answered? He went, I'm not going to answer hypotheticals. I'm like, yeah, it needs to be answered. Answer the freaking question. No, I'm not going to answer the question. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. Okay. You have to be kidding me. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm talking to the TV. I said, did this really just happen or what? All right. And you should have seen like X or Twitter. It exploded after the game about that. Okay. Just absolutely railing at Tomlin. They said, don't blame Rudolph. Don't blame the defense. Blame Tomlin. Okay. Because that game was at least could have gotten us to a tie, got us to overtime. And we could have tried to fight for a win there. Okay. But no.
Again, even in overtime, you got a good kicker. You probably got the better kicker of the two teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, when you have a kicker with the capabilities of Boswell, okay, you go for that kick all the time. Ron, it was ingrained in me from the time I started watching football in 1968 when I was about 10 years old, all right, till now, last 57 years. If you have an opportunity to put points on the board, you do it. You never take points off the board, okay? That was one of the things I was part of the equipment managers on the high school football team. And one of the assistant coaches who I knew real well, he always said, if you have a chance to put points on the board, you do it. You never, ever turn down that opportunity, ever. All right. And this is what they did. All right. And there was something that came out today. I don't know if it was Pat McAfee or one of the other famous Rich Eisen or one of the other guys. Apparently a story has leaked that a head NFL coach with a long tenure in a team is interested in moving on from that team after the season ends, okay? Now, there's some speculation. It could be Tomlin. There's some speculation it could be Harbaugh with the Ravens. The other one, it could be Pete Carroll with the Raiders. Raiders are just a train wreck. They're a total train wreck as far as that's concerned. Those are the three names that were mentioned on that. Now, for me, I don't think it's going to be Tomlin. I think it's probably going to be one of the other ones. But, Ron, a lot of people are saying the way the Steelers played and with Tomlin's decisions and everything, they don't see them winning more than 2 games the rest of the year.
And you said they had to win 5 games, and they won the first one last week against Cincinnati, but now they've lost the next one to the Bears. So now they have to win 4 in the last 5, right?
They got to win 4 of the last 5.
And they play Buffalo this weekend, right?
They play Buffalo this weekend.
Buffalo's spiraling. They've really lost a lot of games.
Yeah, they're really kind of yeah. But who knows? I mean, like I said, the Steelers are like this, Ron. They're like a bell curve right now. You don't know what you're going to get each week from them. Okay, you really don't. All right.
Yeah.
And I have to say this.
Let me ask you this before you go on. Would they have won that game if Rodgers would have started and was healthy?
If he was healthy, maybe, but it wasn't because of anything that Mason Rudolph did or didn't do. I don't think. All right. Mm-hmm. That formation penalty hurt them. A lot of people were saying that was on Rudolph. No, I mean, the team needs to get its stuff together. Don't go blaming Rudolph for a formation penalty. I mean, he called the right play. It looked right to me. I mean, that's a coach's. That goes back to the coaches, a formation penalty. Okay. You practice your formations. Okay. One of the touchdowns the Steelers had was a version of the tush push. And the guy ran it like 30 or 40. I don't know if you saw the replay. You probably saw that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that was all well and good. They got that formation down. But then this other one, they got called an information penalty. It was near and they had to end up, eating it down on that. And then 4th down, and they didn't get it. And the Bears ended up winning the game. I don't know what else to say, Ron. It was one of the most exasperating games I've seen in a long time because that game was winnable. The game was even tieable, getting to overtime. And
it's a game to make the playoffs or whatever, win divisions, you have to be able to pull out games like that, right, Bill?
Exactly. Or at least the very least get it to overtime to give yourself a fighting chance. All right. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, okay, this is not a knock against Rudolph. Rudolph's always going to be a backup quarterback. Okay. He's not the caliber he can't go in and take X number of snaps per game, as many as a starter would take. Okay.
Right. The more games he plays, the less effective he is. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what he is. I mean, when he comes in relief, I think he's fantastic and I think he does a great job, but I don't think he's cut out to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But I think the Steelers are going to be faced with that fact because I don't think Rodgers is going to be back the rest of the season. Because how do you play with a hairline fracture in your left hand? I know it's not.
You have to take all those snaps, yeah,
and take all those snaps. You can't do that. Okay, it's just not physically. It's impossible.
So they're going to have to rely on a strong run game and strong defense the rest of the season.
And then look at their rest of their schedule coming up. They after the Bills, they have 2 games left with the Ravens. They haven't even played the Ravens yet. Okay, and Lamar Jackson is He's healthy. He's getting hot.
But their defense has been off this year in Baltimore.
Yes. I mean, the Eagles have been on a little bit of a spiral lately, too.
Well, but they came off a big win against Detroit. They took Detroit on a Sunday night game that you thought was a close game, and they destroyed that Detroit team. So they came off a real high, and they actually started this game off just like the Detroit game. And then they went in, what'd you call it? They just went in like coast mode or whatever.
They went into coast mode, yeah. They got complacent. It's like the old tortoise and the hare. Okay. The hare's like all this ahead. So he goes out, he gets something to drink, and sure enough, the tortoise ends up passing him up. And that's exactly what happened here in this instance.
And I hate to tell you, who the big offensive player for the Cowboys that game? Pickens was unbelievable.
Oh, I know. And they have to make a decision.
I believe he went in that game second in the league in receiving. I'm not sure he's not first in the league in receiving now.
They have to make a decision at the end of the season whether or not to give him a franchise.
Somebody said they can franchise him for a year.
I think that's what they're going to do, and he's not real happy about that, but he doesn't have a choice. So,
he loves it in Dallas, though. He says he wants to stay there.
Oh yeah. He has a head coach that he can learn from.
And he's got a franchise quarterback that's feeding him the ball.
and that
And
other
he's not
receiver.
getting doubled because CC Lamb's on the other side.
And who's that receiver that's kind of taking him in under his wings? Is that
Lamb,
Lamb?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Lamb keeps the double teams off of him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he's got it made in the shade. If he's smart, he signs with them. Okay. If he's really
He
smart.
takes a little less to stay where in a good spot.
Yeah. And he has a great quarterback there. They're really, they're showing some push here at the end of the season,
Well,
which is fantastic.
Schottenheimer, that's the son of the great coach in the old days of
Marty. Yep.
today. And it looks like the young Schottenheimer, he looks like he's a chip off the old bug, but he also said he's done a couple crazy things that he said his father wouldn't approve of, or whatever. He's a lot more, he's not quite as conservative as Pops.
Well, who Cowher learned how to coach from was Marty Schottenheimer, because he was defensive coordinator for the Chiefs under Marty before he got to be head coach for the Steelers.
Okay,
so.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other closing thoughts here, Ron?
Alex's Carter saying he's missing the hockey talk. Can you give him a quick update on the Florida Panthers?
Yeah, very good, Alex. Last night, the Panthers beat the Nashville Predators 8-3. Okay?
Wow, 8-3.
And one of the things that was real interesting was the Panthers had their backup goalie in, and I really like him. They got him from Columbus. Was a great pickup. Now, their starting goaltender, Bobrovsky, he started out with the Flyers years ago, but he avoids, if there's any confrontation or anything in front of him, he skates off to the side, okay? Tarasov, somebody from Nashville skated right into him to try to knock him down. He dropped his gloves and his stick, and he started going after that guy. He got a penalty for it. Now, see, what happens when a goalie gets a penalty, he doesn't serve it. Somebody else in the team has to serve the penalty for him. But, yeah, he got called 2 minutes for roughing, which is a minor version of fighting. But, no, he took it to this guy. He said, you know what? A lot of goalies are not like that, but he's like that. So he sent out a message to the rest of the league saying, look out here. Now, previously on Saturday, they played the Edmonton Oilers, which they beat in the Stanley Cup the past 2 years. They ended up losing that game 6-3. It was kind of close until the third period. They pulled the goalie too soon, and it got ugly at the end. They got a couple empty net goals. But last night was just straight through. They really didn't have a problem last night. Very, very.
A lot of power play goals, or
no, they only had one power play goal last night. It was a lot of even strength goals. And what was funny was they were playing up in Nashville, but a quarter, 25% or more of the crowd had Florida Panthers jerseys on up in Nashville last night. So, big news for them is they came out with their Winter Classic jerseys. They're playing the New York Rangers on January 2nd for the Winter Classic. They're playing them in Home Depot or Lone Depot Park, which is where the Marlins play, and it has a retractable roof and it's air conditioned. So a lot of people ask about that. So it's gonna kind of be a quote unquote outdoor game, but not really an outdoor.
Maybe Alex has tickets.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I said, a lot of people enjoy the game, but one thing I think people will find out. Number one, it's better to go to look at these Winter Classic or Stadium Classics at a football venue versus baseball, because in baseball venues, you're going to be too far away from the ice. You really won't see what's going on in there. And so these people are paying $300 or $400 or $500 for these tickets. And I'm like,
and they're watching on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, because I went in 2011 when the Penguins played in the Winter Classic, and that was at Heinz Field, which was a great place. But you have to sit up kind of high, not all the way up high, but not all the way low. Now, we were sitting, they would have been fantastic football seats, but Ron, I couldn't see I could probably see with what level of the boards, and I really could only see when they were down our end. I had to look at the scoreboard the whole time because they had the game on the scoreboard to watch it, because you couldn't see the action at all. It was impossible to see. Yeah. So people, just be prepared, for those of you who are going, that it's going to be like that. It's going to be a little, you're not going to have the greatest of views, but the whole thing is to be able to go to see them. So, and they incorporated their old logo into their into this Winter Classic jersey. Everybody's out there buying them and stuff. And I said, enjoy this, because they may wear them only one other time, and then they get put on the shelf. They won't wear them again. So,
well, that'll make them rare.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, thanks for the Panther update. And Bill, did you know Alex picked up a Mavic 4 Pro recently?
I thought I saw that somewhere. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. So any other thing to any
Yeah,
other quick
I
final
want to
thoughts
wish
here?
everybody happy Thanksgiving out there. You know, it's coming up in 2 days. It's one of my favorite holidays of the year, Bill, because it requires a lot less work than Christmas, right? And so it's one of my favorite holidays. So I hope everybody has a great time on the holiday. I know prices are up for the holiday turkey meal this year, but it is what it is on the pricing this year. But still enjoy it and have a great weekend. It's a lot of football. For the Eagles are on Friday during the day against the Bears. You got 3 games on Thanksgiving. So by the time Sunday gets around, it'll be like there's not many games left to play, right? But it's going to be a fun weekend. And then, of course, we'll be back here next week. And I hope that darn anti-gravity drone's out by that point, Bill. I'd like to see. I think they should drop it. Say tomorrow before Black Friday, right?
Exactly. Alex, just to let you know, Florida Panthers Den, DEN. That's my channel. I'm out on YouTube. I'm out on Facebook. I'm out on Instagram. I'm out on X. So you're welcome to follow me there and let me know it's you, so I know it's you if you're on any of those. So that would be great. I do podcasts usually once a week. I haven't done them for about 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm going to be starting those up again soon. So just to let you know. I want to thank everybody.
Once the Steelers are out of the playoffs, Bill will have more time.
Oh yes, I'll be having plenty of time for that. And
I'm just kidding, folks. Hey,
that'll be
Bill,
a given.
Quick drone question before we leave. What's going to come out first? Anti-gravity or DJI Insta 360, Avata 360?
I think the Avata 360 is going to the Avata 360. I don't think the anti-gravity is going to come out until January.
And that's a shame for a company trying to wedge in there. They need to be first.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to kind of echo Ron's sentiment. I know we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast, but I do want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, safe travels. Hope you're able to spend time with family and loved ones, and just be safe and enjoy the holiday. And also, too, remember all these great deals are going to take place here, and they're all these prices are in effect right now, and they may get a little better even on Friday. So
Bill,
be aware of that.
Keep your phone and your Amazon app open up all weekend, huh?
Yeah, definitely do that. And all the links are posted in the description. So please, if you want to get something, obviously I would encourage you to do that. And I'm going to drop the other links that I have for eBay and some of the other Amazon links. I'm going to post it in the comments so you guys have access to that as well too. So I hope you guys have a great holiday. We'll see you back next week. And as always, it's a great day to fly, guys. Take care. Have a great week.